Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Saturday, the 21st of December, and welcome to White Regis TV News, coming to you live from the heart of White Regis. And I'll just say before I start today, I have a bit of a chesty cough, which I've been holding off all day, so I do apologise if I end up with a coughing fit, but I will do my best this evening. And in the news this week, a spokesman for the Portland Waste Incinerator campaign, or the Stop the Portland Waste Incinerator campaign, Laura Baldwin, has said that campaigners against the hugely unpopular plans for a waste incinerator at Portland Port in Dorset have had a win, as the High Court judge has validated one of the three grounds filed for a statutory review. The Stop Portland Waste Incinerator campaign group announced that one of the three grounds appealed on has been accepted. That is, that the government's decision to grant planning permission does not satisfy Dorset Council's spatial strategy and the proximity principle from its waste plan, which designates specific sites for waste disposal nearer to major waste-generating settlements in Dorset. The claimant, Debbie Tullett, shared the news on Monday, saying, "I'm delighted to be able to say that our lawyers, Lee Day, contacted me with the fantastic news that permission to apply for a planning strategy review has been granted, and the application for a planning strategy review is to be listed for hearing at the Royal Courts of Justice in London." Although I know there were those that doubted it would get to the High Court, the fact that the judge agrees that ground one of our claim is arguable with sufficient prospect of success, I feel this at least vindicates our decision to bring about this claim. Now, the government and Power Fuel now have 35 days to put in their detailed grounds of resistance, and then the case should be heard sometime early in the new year. Now, sticking with waste, Dorset Council Waste Services have experienced another fire in one of their recycling collection vehicles in Bridport this week. The crew managed to eject the load, saving the vehicle in the process. Firefighters from Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue attended to extinguish the blaze. Photos captured show the cause was a pack of batteries that were placed in a recycling bin. Fortunately, no one was injured, and due to the quick actions of the collection crew, no damage was caused to the vehicle. Dorset Council Waste Services has said on their Facebook page a lot of recyclable material has been lost, and waste crews will need to clean up the mess too. They continue to say that waste is crushed in the back of their vehicles after collection. When batteries, even dead ones, are crushed, they can catch fire. When surrounded with waste paper, cardboard and plastics, it's a recipe for disaster. The clear advice is that batteries should be placed in a battery bag or another clear plastic bag if you haven't got one of the pink battery bags, and left on top of your recycle bin, but never in it with the other waste. Now, Age UK is urging every older person to protect their health by having a winter COVID-19 and flu jab as soon as they can. Some older people are also eligible for an RSV vaccination this year, and the charity encourages them to take advantage of this. With the rollout of the 2024 winter flu and COVID vaccination programme well underway, Age UK urges older people to do all they can to stay well this winter by having the vaccinations for which they are eligible as soon as they can. Now, I appreciate many of you will have had them, but if you haven't, now is the time really to play catch-up and see if you can get them done. By having a vaccine, those most at risk from respiratory illnesses can be protected through the colder months, preventing nasty winter bugs from developing into more serious illnesses and helping to minimise hospitalisations. Studies show that older people are Studies show that older people, and particularly those managing health conditions, are among those most at risk from the serious impacts of flu, COVID-19 and other respiratory viruses. Caroline Abrams, who's the charity director at Age UK, said this winter is shaping up to be another worrying one for many older people as they struggle to balance keeping warm this winter with the costs of energy, changes in eligibility for the winter fuel payment and the rising cost of food. But having our vaccines when they are offered is something we can all do to help avoid serious illness, particularly as the weather turns cold. If you're eligible for a vaccine, we would urge you to do everything you can to protect your health and take up the opportunity when it's offered. I'm certainly doing so, and I hope you will do too. Now, for the COVID and the flu vaccines, you can book these online via the NHS website. For the RSV vaccine, you'll normally be contacted by your GP practice to make an appointment. If you're in doubt at all, you can ring the 119 to speak about the COVID vaccinations, or of course you can contact your GP practice. Now, Dorset Council's Trading Standards team, with support from Dorset Police, served a closure notice on Amsterdam Market on the Esplanade in Weymouth this week, requiring the premises to be shut down. The action follows recent multi-agency partnership working between Dorset Council and the police to tackle the persistent sale of illicit and non-compliant cigarettes, hand-rolling tobacco, vapes and nicotine pouches. Numerous joint visits from Dorset Council and police officers have taken place at the Amsterdam Market over the previous 12 months and have also included support from the Immigration Enforcement Officers, the HMRC and Trading Standards South West. Despite multiple instances of illegal vapes, tobacco and cigarettes being seized, the business owners continued their illegal activities. So following an investigation, the decision was taken to close the shop down. Neighbourhood Policing Inspector Sam Goom of Weymouth and Portland Police said, "We will continue to work closely with our partners in trading standards to target business premises which continue to trade in the illicit sale of illegal vape and tobacco products. We have a duty of care to our communities, particularly young people who end up using these products, and we will endeavour to protect them from the dangers of these illegal items." Now, staying with Dorset Police, we've just mentioned Dorset Police. A man has sadly died following an alleged serious assault in Weymouth. You'll remember we brought you this story last week. Detectives continue to investigate an incident in Abbotsbury Road, which was reported at 8:12 p.m. on Tuesday the 10th of December. Officers attended with the ambulance service. A victim, 75-year-old Anthony Jacob from Weymouth, was taken to hospital for treatment to head and facial injuries. Sadly, he died in hospital on Thursday this week. Following fast-time inquiries at the scene, a 19-year-old named Jake Saunders from Weymouth was arrested and charged. He first appeared at Poole Magistrates Court on Friday the 13th of December and is next due to appear at Bournemouth Crown Court on Thursday the 9th of January. Staying with Dorset Police, and we've got a CCTV image to share with you on this one. Dorset Police received a report at 10:27 p.m. on Monday the 9th of December of an assault that occurred inside the William Henry pub in Frederick Place. It was reported that a man was punched in the face by an unknown man, leaving him with a missing front tooth and injuries to his lip. It was also alleged that the victim was subsequently assaulted with a glass by another man. A 24-year-old man from Shaftesbury was arrested on suspicion of assault and released on bail pending further inquiries. Police Constable Lloyd Blease of Dorset Police said, "We are continuing our inquiries into this incident, and as part of our investigation we have obtained a CCTV image of a man we would like to identify. I would urge anyone who recognises this man to please get in touch with us." So if you recognise that man in the CCTV, you know anything about that incident or the sad death of the 75-year-old man who was attacked in Abbotsbury Road, please do contact Dorset Police, either direct by calling 101, or alternatively, if you'd like to do this anonymously, you can contact the Crime Stoppers charity on 0800 555 111. That's 0800 555 111. Now, a statement was issued on the 19th of December by David Civic, the Police and Crime Commissioner for Dorset, and he reveals that Dorset Police will be faced with a shortfall in its funding in excess of £6 million in the year ahead. Mr Civic calls on Dorset MPs to recognise the severity of the situation and work with him to address this with government and its unfair treatment of Dorset. Extracts from the statement from Mr Civic state, "Following a detailed assessment of the funding settlement for Dorset Police, I'm deeply disappointed by the position this leaves the force and goes no way to meeting the financial gap faced by Dorset Police. The pay increments and pay rise rightly deserved by officers and staff are set to cost the force £9 million next year, but the government has awarded us just £2.8 million towards these costs. This is worsened by the £5 million of other inflationary pressures, which further exacerbates the significant budgetary pressure. The budget announcement assumes I, as Dorset Police and Crime Commissioner, will raise the council tax precept by the maximum allowed, which is £14 for a Band D household, which along with increases in the number of people paying council tax would generate an extra £7.9 million for the force. Even if the precept is increased and there is a consultation currently underway, the force will still need to find a further £4.6 million in savings in order to deliver a balanced budget next year. Yet again, Dorset Police and the residents of this county are the victims of this outdated and unfair system, which needs changing and quickly, as the quality of service we currently offer is under threat. Now, an 8-month-old ginger cat named Otto is safely back with his owners after spending a nerve-wracking 24 hours stranded high in a tree on Lawton Lane in Weymouth. The dramatic rescue was carried out by Knighton Countryside Management, whose act of kindness has touched the hearts across the community. Otto's adventure began when his curiosity led him to climb a towering holm oak tree. Despite his owners, Jodie Lumber and Elliot Sawyer, best efforts to lure him down, Otto remained perched high above, too frightened to move. Calls to the RSPCA and the fire service brought no resolution, leaving Jodie desperate to find help. That's when Knighton Countryside Management stepped in. Known for their expertise with trees, they took on the unusual task of rescuing the frightened feline. With specialist climbing gear, a cherry picker and a steady hand, the team reached the 40-foot tree and brought Otto safely back to the ground, much to the relief of Elliot and a small group of onlookers who'd gathered to watch. And there you can see Otto in the picture, safely in the arms of one of the chaps from Knighton Countryside Management. Now, staff and patrons of the Onyx Bar and Restaurant, Weymouth, part of the King's Hotel Group, raised £889 for local charity Staffy and Stray Rescue during a festive quiz night held earlier this month. The event welcomed 11 enthusiastic teams, a bustling crowd of patrons and even a few four-legged friends as well. The dog-friendly venue, located within the Crown Hotel Weymouth, saw its doggy donations box filled to overflowing with toys, treats and food generously donated by both customers and staff. The highlight of the evening was a VIP visit from Hattie, a beautiful greyhound cared for by the charity, who quickly became a crowd favourite. And that's Hattie there in the picture, I imagine. Following the outstanding support from the community, the King's Hotel Group was proudly announced that Staffies and Stray Rescue will be their chosen charity for 2025. Now, if you'd like more information on how to support the charity or even to adopt a dog, you can visit their website on www.staffyandstrayrescue.co.uk. Oh, excuse me, I've got so far without coughing, but there we go. This is the first cough. Now, major safety improvement work will begin on the four-way Mornbury Cross Junction in Dorchester, starting on Monday the 13th of January. This includes installation of much-needed signal-controlled pedestrian crossing points, widening and levelling of footways where possible, and upgrading existing equipment. There will be traffic management in place during construction, so drivers are advised to allow for extra time at the junction, particularly during peak travel to work and travel home times. Pedestrian access will be maintained with a safe route sign posted. There will be a new layout and an upgrade of the existing signalling equipment, and work will include a new controlled pedestrian crossing point on Mornbury Road East Arm, Mornbury Road West Arm and on Weymouth Avenue North Arm, widening and levelling of footways where possible to improve the pedestrian environment, a new section of cycleway and advanced stop line on the uphill section of Mornbury Road to help cyclists through the junction, and relocating the existing crossing point on the railway bridge and replacing with a new puffin crossing closer to Queen's Avenue. This will provide more footway space for people wanting to cross the road and will be closer to the main route where students walk to and from school. The work is expected to run through until May next year. Now, those hoping for an early Christmas getaway will be pleased to know there are no major planned alterations to rail timetables before Christmas Day. Still got a few days before Christmas Day, but there are no changes before Christmas. But be warned, for those hoping to travel between the 27th and 29th of December on GWR, you are being warned of significant changes. Engineering works will affect services through Westbury from Friday the 27th of December to Thursday the 23rd of January inclusive. The railway through Westbury as well as between Westbury and Salisbury will be closed to enable track upgrades close to Westbury Station and maintenance of the Sherrington Viaduct. Trains will be diverted or replaced by buses. Passengers are advised to check their journeys before travelling and to plan well in advance. And also on South Western Railways, they confirmed that services over Christmas and New Year that they have confirmed their services over Christmas and New Year with no trains on Christmas Day and Boxing Day. And services will end earlier than usual on Christmas Eve, with the last service departing around 10 p.m. or 2200. Major engineering works in the Woking area will significantly affect services from Monday the 23rd of December through to Sunday the 5th of January, resulting in longer journeys. And then from the 6th of January, South Western Railway's normal timetable will resume. Of course, the extended Christmas and New Year break is often a time when major works are undertaken on the rail network, and travellers are advised to check their travel plans before they intend to travel, not just on the day. I would suggest checking a couple of days before, because you might need to make completely alternative arrangements. Now, First Bus in Dorset has announced price changes and revised fare zones. The changes come into effect on the 1st of January. They will introduce 2 revised, easy-to-understand fare zones, as well as making changes to ticket prices, which have been frozen for the last 2 years. Now, adult short hop fares for journeys up to 3 miles will be £2.40, and longer journeys will align with the incoming UK government's £3 flat fare cap in England, with a maximum single fare of £3 for journeys above 3 miles. Child fares have been simplified and will be 50% less than the adult single fare. Fare zones will be revised, meaning there will now be just 2 easy-to-understand zones: Weymouth and the network. So that's Weymouth and the network. The Portland, Axminster and Weymouth Plus zones will be removed. And also, by using the new tap-on, tap-off system, customers will be charged the best value fare based on their journey. No matter how often you travel, customers will never pay more than the daily or weekly cap. So there we go. That's changes in bus fares. So basically, it's going to be £2.40 or £3, and it's going to be travel within Weymouth or travel outside onto the main network, as it would seem. It comes into force on the 1st of January. Now, with Christmas just around the corner, Weymouth Town Council is pleased to share the good news that 7 grants have been awarded to community and voluntary organisations to help fund projects for the benefit of Weymouth residents. Now, the following grants have been awarded. The Friendly Food Cup were awarded £1,200 to support the delivery of cookery sessions for local residents. Artway CIC have received £1,729.52. Rather precise. I wonder why the odd 52 pence. To support the running of the Open for Art project. The Bridges Patient Participation Group have been awarded £871.50 to support patients to take part in funded cookery sessions over a course of 6 weeks. Now, very important charity here, Mosaic. Now, Mosaic support bereaved children. I know that they go into schools, in schools that I'm involved in, and actually give very important support to young children who've lost a parent or a family member. And they have been awarded £2,100 to provide 7 one-hour counselling sessions to 6 bereaved young people in Dorset. Re-Engage Limited were awarded £1,944 to fund the development of a new activity group for older residents in Weymouth, which will aim to address issues of loneliness and social isolation amongst those in the population. And Waterside Weymouth Community Forum have been awarded £2,957 to go towards creating a community pantry, which will supplement the local food bank. And finally, Weymouth Food Bank have received £1,940 to help provide an additional bag of Christmas food to supplement the usual provision of tins and packets to those who use their service. No, so lots of local groups they're getting support just ahead of Christmas this year from Weymouth Town Council. Now, if you have any idea who might benefit across Weymouth for similar grants and similar financial support, you can check Weymouth Town Council's grant page to see if you are eligible to apply for funding. So if you're part of a community group in the Weymouth area and you need some vital funding, then do look on the Weymouth Town Council grants page to see if you're eligible. And finally, in the finally in the news headlines, Arts Reach are thrilled to reveal another exciting programme packed with 25 artists performing over 50 live dates in more than 40 communities right across Dorset. Copies of the new programme, and I've got mine here. It actually came in the post today. I think it was either yesterday or today. Copies of the new programme are heading out soon to those on the postal mailing list, so look out for it arriving with the Christmas deliveries. Programmes are also available at libraries and tourist information centres across Dorset, and of course, the full programme is available on the Arts Reach website, artsreach.co.uk. So pop in, have a look at the programme. You can register on their website for a programme, or you can download the information. And as ever, we will be picking things from their programme starting from next week and giving you an update of what is coming up in the weeks ahead. And that's the end of the headlines tonight. And I actually got there without too much coughing, so I'm really pleased about that. Now it's time in the programme to go over to Andrew Wright for this week's film review and preview.
Welcome to White Regis TV Film Review and Preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This weekend, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 releases in cinemas. The film is the fourth entry in the live-action Sonic the Hedgehog film series and stars Jim Carrey, Ben Schwartz, James Marsden, Idris Elba and Keanu Reeves. This film revolves around Sonic, Tails and Knuckles teaming up with Dr. Robotnik to take on Shadow the Hedgehog. So far, critics' response to the film has been positive, with many labelling it the best film of the series, with particular praise being given to Carrey and Reeves' performances. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is in cinemas this weekend. Also released this weekend is Mufasa the Lion King, a photorealistic animation that serves as a prequel and sequel to the 2019 live-action Lion King film. The film revolves around the origin story of Mufasa and Scar, then known as Taka, being told to Simba and Nala's daughter. The film stars Aaron Pierre as Mufasa and Kelvin Harrison Jr. as Taka, with Mads Mikkelsen playing the villain, and various actors from the 2019 film reprising their roles, including Donald Glover, Beyoncé and Seth Rogen. The film so far has received mixed reviews from critics, who praised the film overall but criticised the script, pacing and lack of charm. It is also dedicated to the memory of James Earl Jones, the original voice of Mufasa, who sadly passed away earlier this year. Mufasa the Lion King is in cinemas this weekend. This week, Joker Folie à Deux was released on home video. The film is a sequel to the 2019 Oscar-winning film Joker, and stars Joaquin Phoenix reprising his Oscar-winning role as Arthur Fleck, a mentally ill nihilistic criminal with a clown-inspired persona. The Lady Gaga stars as his love interest, Lee Quinzel. The film is presented as a musical and revolves around Arthur Fleck's trial for the murder of Robert De Niro's character in the previous film. This film was negatively received by both critics and audiences, and was flopped quite badly at the box office, as it was a massive gamble for the studio. So I watched this film for the first time this week, and I thought the film was so utterly full of itself and its own hubris, with the actors struggling to give good performances with an incoherent script, and the whole musical premise seems to hang solely on Lady Gaga's presence, as she does the most singing in the film. I really liked the 2019 Joker film. I never thought it needed a sequel, and I was right. I gave Folie à Deux 2 stars out of 5. I think it's safe to say we won't be seeing any more of Arthur Fleck's Joker. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I will be talking about Better Man and Nosferatu. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much there, Andrew. Not too impressed with Joker Folie à Deux. So, yeah, there we go. Quite often these films are sort of get quite a good sort of publicity, but actually they don't turn out to be as good as expected. And that's exactly what Andrew's there to tell us about. Now, something a little different this week. Did you know that January, the 1st of January, there will be the start of a celebration of the 200th anniversary of the modern railway? And this is going to be celebrated by a cacophony of train locomotive whistles and horns at midday on the 1st of January. The Railway 200 Whistle Up, spearheaded by the Heritage Railway Association, will involve more than 50 heritage railways in the UK and abroad as well, and whistles of nearly 200 vintage steam and diesel locomotives to herald a year-long celebration. Railways in other countries, including Holland, South Africa and Sierra Leone, will be taking part as well, some with British-built locos. The Heritage Railway Association claims it will be the biggest railway heritage mass participation event ever. Train engine horns at mainland stations will also be sounded off at the appointed hour to welcome in the anniversary year. At the other end of the scale, Train Modellers Hornby will be getting a variety of model trains to toot and whistle on their track layouts. There will also be a special appearance on social media from everyone's favourite blue engine, Thomas the Tank Engine. So, Railway 200, a year-long celebration of 200 years of the modern railway. It will explore how rail has shaped national life and encourage more people to consider a career in the railway. The anniversary commemorates the launch of the Stockton and Darlington Railway in 1825, a journey that changed the world forever. Now, you can join in with this cacophony at midday on the 1st of January. If you don't have any whistles, horns or bells to hand, try using a Christmas party blower or popper, or just pucker your lips and whistle. We're now going to hear just a few words from Mike Putman, who's the acting chair of Network Rail.
I think Railway 200 is not only about celebrating a fantastic past 200 years, but it's also about looking forwards and everything that the rail can bring. Whistle Up obviously signifies the start of this celebration, but it also gives us an opportunity to invite others in, inspire young people and communities. Well, I'm looking forward to taking part, but also to see others take part and seeing what they bring for the railway of the future.
There we go. So that's 1st of January at midday. Now, if you want more information on Railway 200 and the year's anniversary celebrations, you can visit a special website, www.railway200.co.uk, www.railway200.co.uk. And to search for local heritage railways that are getting involved, it's www.hra.uk.com/directory. And in our area, the Swanage Railway, the Yeovil Railway Centre, West Somerset Railway, South Devon Railway, East Somerset Railway and Seaton Tramway are all going to be involved. It's now time to go over to the Met Office for the evening forecast, and this week we are joined by Craig Snell.
Hello there, welcome to your latest weather forecast from the Met Office. Well, as we approach Christmas, the weather is set to change after a very cold and windy Sunday, courtesy of this area low pressure. We start to see high pressure begin to move in, and that will really settle things down as we approach Christmas Day itself. And with wind coming in from the southwest, it'll start to feel much milder too. Back to the here and now for the rest of Saturday. We've still got some rain just clearing the very far southwest of England, but for most, as we move into the early hours of Sunday, it's going to be a mixture of clear spells and blustery showers. Some of the showers will be turning to sleet and snow across the high ground of Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England, so that may introduce an ice risk in places, but more significantly, the winds will remain quite strong, especially across more northern and western areas. Warnings are in force right throughout Sunday, so if you do have any travel plans, stay up to date with the latest warnings on our website. Temperatures overnight, I think for most towns and cities holding above freezing, but in the countryside we could just see a few spots just falling just below freezing. So as we start Sunday, it's going to be really a mixture of sunshine and scattered showers, and that's going to maintain itself right throughout the day. We could just see a spell of more persistent rain arriving in the far northeast of Scotland. Again, that will really be a mix of rain, sleet and snow. But the main feature tomorrow will be the strength of the wind. A very windy day for all of us, but especially so across the far north of Scotland. And that's really going to take an edge off the temperatures. On the thermometers, possibly up to 7 or 9 degrees, but factor in that wind, it's going to be feeling significantly colder than that. Parts of Scotland probably feeling sub-zero for the whole day. Certainly a day to be wrapping up warmly for most of the country. And then as we move into the earlier hours of Monday, what we'll see is the winds gradually beginning to ease from the west. That allows clearing skies. So I think Monday morning we'll see a widespread frost across many parts of Scotland and England, but already out towards the west we're starting to see a change as this cloud and rain arrives into the far west of Northern Ireland. But as I mentioned, ahead of that, under the clear skies, certainly a frost in the countryside and even some towns and cities approaching freezing as we start Monday morning. But comes with lots of sunshine across eastern and central parts Monday morning, but out towards the west, this area of cloud and rain will gradually work its way a little bit further eastwards, but probably maintaining with the sunshine in the east for the whole day, but still feeling pretty chilly here. Temperatures only reaching around 6 or 7 degrees and still got a little bit of a nagging wind here, but out towards the west as the day goes on, increasingly mild, could be up to about 9 or 10 degrees by the end of the afternoon. And then Christmas Eve, a mild but cloudy day for most of us. Risk of some rain, especially for parts of Scotland, that may well turn persistent at times. It's still fairly breezy across this part of the world, but elsewhere lighter winds, but plenty of cloud cover around, and as I mentioned, feeling pretty mild, highs up to about 12 or 13 degrees. And a very similar story on Christmas Day. Certainly going to be a grey Christmas, I think, for most of us, but mild temperatures again up to about 12 to 13 degrees in a few spots. Still the risk of some rain across the far northwest of Scotland, and that may continue into Boxing Day too. But you can find out more information about the weather where you are over the next few days on our app or on our website. But from me for now, take care, and I'll see you again soon.
Thank you very much there, Craig. And I don't think it's going to be any different down here on the local weather forecast this week. It's going to be mild and grey. I think that's basically it. But hopefully we're not freezing and we are not raining. And hopefully that wind will keep low as well. So a bit of a dismal but mild Christmas Day. Now, looking to our What's On section, we have got Weymouth Pavilion. And we have got the pantomime running now through until the 5th of January, the pantomime's Peter Pan. On the 8th of January, you got the BSO New Year Viennese Gala. 11th of January, Thank You for the Music, ABBA Tribute. 17th of January, a tribute to the Pet Shop Boys. And 19th of January, comedian Ed Byrne. Now, there's lots of other things going on. Do pop along to their website, weymouthpavilion.com, to see more shows that are going on and to book tickets, or give the box office a ring, 01305 783 225. Now, we mentioned the Swanage Railway just now on the Heritage Railway event marking 200th anniversary of the railway. They still have their Polar Express running right the way through to Christmas Eve, so a couple of days left. Don't know what the availability is on those tickets, but maybe if you haven't booked and you're looking for something to do just before Christmas, might be worth looking on their website to see if there are any tickets still available. And an event tomorrow in Weymouth. It's an open day at Weymouth Fire Station tomorrow. You can join Weymouth Fire Station as firefighters race to save Santa from the drill tower in time for Christmas at their festive open day that runs between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. tomorrow. You can visit Santa's Grotto, meet your local firefighters, visit the craft fair stalls and dust up your knowledge with their chip pan fire demo. Other activities include firefighting demonstrations, seeing the fire engines, a barbecue, an ice cream van, probably the wrong time of the year for an ice cream van, but there'll be an ice cream van there, and attendance from the firefighters charity. There'll also be the opportunity to discuss fire safety and arrange a home fire safety visit where necessary. So that's at the Weymouth Community Fire Station on Radipole Lane, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow. Now, finally, church services tomorrow in the Wyke area, 8 o'clock communion at All Saints Church Wyke, 9:30 communion All Saints Church Wyke, 11 o'clock communion at St Edmund's Church Lanehouse, and then 6:30 tomorrow evening. That's Sunday, tomorrow evening, 6:30, service of 9 lessons and carols at All Saints Church. That's the traditional carol service that always happens just before Christmas with the well-known carols and lessons. And after that, there'll be mulled wine and mince pies. Of course, all the regular Christmas services are available at the churches in Wyke as well. And you can pop along to the parish website, www.parishofwykeregis.org.uk, to find out the other services over Christmas. Now, we are just at the end of our programme. It just remains for me to remind you that we have our Saturday night quiz tonight at 7:30 in just under an hour's time. It's a Christmas-themed quiz this week. It is open to all, it is free, and it is family-friendly, and all are welcome to join us. Now, that brings us to the end of this week's programme. By the time we have our next programme, next Saturday, Christmas will have come and gone, and we'll be looking forward to New Year. So it just remains for me to say, have a very, very happy Christmas, whatever Christmas is for you this year. And I look forward to being back with you next Saturday at 6 o'clock. Good night.